guys, how y'all feeling out there? I hope you guys are doing well. We're going to get through this. I promise you. I promise you. But until then, let's laugh. Let's get right into it. Big Ed and Rose. This episode, Big Ed was not a good look for you. Even last week's episode, he was complaining about Thailand being hot. He was complaining about Rose, going in his wallet and telling people to keep the change. You are in a market. You are struggling with the culture and with the language. You have somebody right beside you who is of the culture and knows the language. She's just moving the process along because you're taking too long of a time. It wasn't that big of a deal, and I felt like he was trying to blow something out of proportion. He gives me the kind of guy who is like, I don't want to say anxiety. What is it? Where he just like overreacts to the littlest things, like he cannot handle anything, or he'll just like blow up, like he just breaks under pressure. That's what he gives me, because there was nothing happening in last week's episode for him to act the way that he was acting. Even this week's episode, it was just like, it just got worse. As the day went on, his behavior just got worse. And I was feeling so bad for Rose. I'm Team Rose. From here on out, until she gives me something else, I am Team Rose. Like Ed, Big Ed, Little Ed, Petite Ed is doing too much. So let's get into this STD test. I didn't like it. Like, this is the thing, right? I'm not upset about asking your partner, somebody who you have not been intimate with, to get an STD, to get an STD test. Makes perfect sense, right? It's the way he asked her that bothered me, because he leads up to asking her to get an STD test with saying, well, you have 4,000 Facebook friends, so before we have sex, I want you to have an STD test. What does that mean? Because she has 4,000 Facebook friends, you think that she's sleeping with 4,000 people? What would make you think that? I felt like his line of questioning had like a dash of xenophobia, maybe not a dash, maybe a full serving, but it just really bothered me because I felt like he was only asking Rose to get an STD, because I feel like he was only asking Rose to get an STD, because I feel like he was only asking Rose to get an STD test because she's this poor brown woman from another country. That's what I get, because I don't think that Ed would ask an American woman that. I don't even think he would ask a European woman that. You know what I mean? If he was on here with some chick from Russia or some chick from, I was going to say Italy. Jesus, y'all get my prayers. Some chick from Sweden. I just feel like he would not have asked her that, but he was asking it of Rose, and Rose took it the same way that I took it. In her confessional, she was just like, he made me feel dirty. Like, I felt like a dirty woman, and that's what it gave me. It felt really dirty, really ugly, and it was the way he asked, guys. I had no problem with him asking that. It's the way he did it and the intentions behind it. How do you ask me why I have 4,000 Facebook friends and then start asking me about my past boyfriends and then say, oh, I want you to get an STD test? Like, why are those questions all lined up like that? It was ugly, and Ed was completely wrong. My girl Rose, though, I love the fact that she was just like, okay, well, you get an STD. Well, I can't say this word. You get a sex test too. An STD test. And I was very happy for her, because I love the fact that Rose this entire episode stood up for herself. Like, yes, I am poor, and you look like a big fish to me because you're from, I think, a really good country, and you have money and opportunities that I don't have, right? So of course you look very attractive to me, but you're not going to treat me like crap. You're not going to make me feel small. You're not going to make me feel dirty. I will get out of this relationship. And I was so proud of her. She was just like, oh no, I'm done. You hurt me. At one point, I was just like, Rose, are you going to beat up on him? Because I felt like if the cameras wasn't there, Rose would have beat up on Ed. Like, there were a couple of bops coming Ed's way from the way that she was talking. She's like, I hurt. And I just felt like, if the cameras wasn't there, Ed was going to get a little bop to his little head. And I'm just really disappointed in Ed, because remember, this always happens to me. I always start rooting for somebody, specifically an American. Anytime I root for the Americans on this show, it just never goes well for me. I was really excited about him because he just seemed like a really fun character this season. And just like within like a couple episodes, our relationship, like, we're done. Like, I can't ride for him anymore, because he's just been very awful to Rose for no reason. Rose hasn't given me anything. Like, I don't feel suspicious about her in any way. The only thing that comes up about her past, or if she's scamming or whatever, because she is. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. You know what I mean? If they was both in America, Ed wouldn't have had a shot. But aside from that, I'm here for her. Like she isn't like giving me anything. She's like this bad person. And every time we're in Ed's confessionals, he keeps on trying to say these things about her. And I'm just like, I don't think you realize that you trying to make Rose look a certain way is making you look a certain way. Like we're all defending her and looking at you like, what are you doing? To be quite honest with you, you have some nerve. Some nerve to be acting like that, you know. Maybe back in the day when everything was a little slim, you could have maybe been talking to her like this, but Ed, not today, not at your big age. Like, bro, how dare you? I just felt so bad for her. It was a really ugly scene to watch, especially when she started breaking down at the dinner table and he goes, oh, I'm just going to go and get some air. Your woman is crying because you said something really foul to her and you're going to go out and get some air. Rose deserves better. She really, really does. And Big Ed, you were wrong. You were wrong. And then he has this whole meltdown. Love doesn't exist. What are you doing? You caused this whole situation and you take no responsibility. Now you're mad that the woman who you told to get an STD test doesn't want to go to the hotel room with you. She was just like, no, I want my own hotel. I'm not going nowhere with you. I don't even want to get in the same cab with you. Get me a hotel and I'm getting out of here. And he's upset about that. Why would she want to go back to the hotel room with you? How does he not understand that? Because then he felt some sort of way when she said, I want you to get an STD test as well. And he was just like, oh, well, now you're trying to make me the bad guy. Oh, so you know that asking someone the way you ask them to get an STD test is wrong. Why would you do that to Rose then? See, like he knows what he's doing. And that's another thing that bothered me. Like you knew that this is going to hurt her. Now, either you were doing this to get a reaction on camera and it wasn't the reaction that you wanted, or you're just a terrible person. I don't know, Ed. I'm disappointed. I will say that. Damn proud of Rose. That's my girl. Team Rose from here on out until she gives me another reason. You know what I mean? Until I feel like she's doing everything right. You know what I mean? I don't feel like she's messing up the bag. Well, she was doing a little bit too much talking last episode, but I feel like she's securing the bag still. But Ed, you're the one messing this up. You're the one messing this up because I can't believe he had that whole breakdown and ran away from the producers. Like, dude, you were the one who was wrong in this situation. So love doesn't exist because you're a jerk. Maybe it doesn't exist for you because you got to change. But it exists for everybody else. Avery and Ash. So last week's episode, Avery was acting like, oh, I don't really know this man, so we're not going to be intimate. To like wake up in his bed the next morning. I was like, oh, was that for us? Because you did this whole, oh no, you're going to sleep out here and maybe you'll migrate over to my room, in due time. Girl, did you mean a couple hours? Because baby, that went right out the door. She was just like, there was no way I was going to let that sexy man sleep out on the couch. I get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't hating, but I was like, Avery, you did not play hard to get, not once. Not once. You know what? This happened before. I don't know what review it was, but I think it was maybe when I was reviewing Colton season, but there was a review where I talked about being shocked that one of the characters on the show, I think being in their 30s, had never had an orgasm, right? And everybody started commenting like, girl, that's normal. I was like, what? A lot of women were just like, I've never, had a partner that I orgasm with, right? So I'm listening to Avery in this episode and she says, after she's well in her 30s, then had multiple boyfriends, got 2 kids, and she was just like, Ash is the best sex that she's ever had. And I'm like, really? Really, Avery? Now, are you saying that to stroke his ego, or is this your truth? Women, we got to stop getting other men who are not doing what they need to do. Like, at some point, especially at your big age, Avery, in your 30s, you got to start saying something. That just really shocked me, and it took me back to that review where my comment section, y'all was just like, girl, no, it ain't happening. And one girl was like, I'm 37. And I was like, girl, what? And one lady was like, I'm married. And I was like, oh, Lord. Woo! listen, when we survive this apocalypse, we are not taking no for an answer, okay? No more, ladies. It is not about the men. You are there too. It's about the both of y'all. You know what I mean? Don't get up until you have some fun as well. I think Ash's brother having apprehensions about Avery is smart. Like, it makes sense. You got to think about it, guys. Your sibling tells you, your sibling who you also live with tells you, hey, this person that I've been talking to that I've never met is coming to stay at our home for like, what, 30 days. Is that cool with you? No, I think it just makes sense. I don't think he dislikes Avery. He just doesn't know her. And it seems kind of odd to him for his brother to want to move somebody in that he does not know into a home that they share for 30 days. I think it makes sense. I just think that Avery in the show is trying to blow up the brother's apprehension of her a bit more than what it really is. That just made total sense to me. Like, Ash is with Avery, right? So he could be comfortable living in a space with her. But I don't know this person. You know this person just online, and you want to move them into our home, our sanctuary with, you know, my possessions, your possessions. Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable either. So I totally understand Ash's brother. And I don't think that it was like abnormal that he has anything against Avery. It just made perfect sense. I will say this about his brother though. He does give me snooty, right? Ash and his brother seem like they are the kind of guys who like the finer things in life. There's nothing wrong with that. They just don't have the coin to really live this life. So they put on this like snooty facade, or like Ash's brother is more snooty, Ash is more flashy, and they don't really have it. You know what I mean? Like, they scam to get it. And there's a lot of people who live like that, but I feel like they live beyond their means and they take on this persona so that people can think that they are from a certain class when they're actually not. That's what I get from him, because the brother, the way he was talking to Avery, and I don't feel like he was just talking to Avery like that because it was Avery. I feel like he talks to everybody like that because he wants you, you know, he wants to hold this thing over you that I'm from, you know, the upper crust, you know, I'm better than you and I have all of these things. Really? You have all of this class and capital and wealth and you couldn't get your brother out of several bankruptcies? Stop playing. They scamming. They are scamming. I get it from the both of them. Speaking of scamming, Ash, you need to turn the scam down just a bit, because I feel like at some point Avery is going to catch on again. When they broke up the first time, I think Avery just caught on and she was just like, there's no way this dude could be that into me. I'm not saying that she feels, you know, bad about herself or that she doesn't think that she's worthy of that. I think that her common sense just kicked in and her woman's intuition and was just like, something is not quite right about this. But I think probably longing and wanting to have a partner just overtook all of her suspicions, and she got right back into this situation with Ash, because he's doing the most. Everything that she says he agrees with. There are no issues. He doesn't drink. All of a sudden at this dinner, he drinks. Like, Avery orders like some basic drink. What is it, like a dry martini? Whatever that drink was. Ash goes, wow, really? That sounds like the most amazing drink in the world. I'll have that too. Yeah. Like, it was so much. And I'm just like, dude, if you just calm down, bring it back, maybe disagree with her a bit, show her just a little bit of yourself, you will get to the United States. This act right here, you are blowing it. It was just so forced and fake and overdone that I'm just like, this is how she caught on to you the last time. She gonna catch on to you again if you keep on doing all of this. Like, she even looked at him like, oh, okay. Like, she was just weirded out by that, because the whole time you said you don't drink, it's not for you. You don't like how it makes you feel. Then I order this drink that everybody has heard of, and you act like it's the most amazing thing you've ever heard. Ash, she gonna catch on to you, and she gonna go back to America without you and your son. Jeffrey and Varia, real quick, last week's episode, Varia had me rolling because, baby, let me tell you something. She knows that she wants to live in America, but she knows that she don't want to live in no Tennessee. When Jeff was talking to her about his homes in Tennessee, she was just like, oh, ew, no, not Tennessee. I want to live in the city. I don't want to live in the boondocks of Tennessee. And Jeff was a little taken aback by that, because I guess his thing is, well, I'm bringing you to America. You should be happy wherever you're at. And Varia was just like, no, baby. I know where I want to go. Everybody wants to go to like New York. And I'm like, does everybody realize not everybody has the coin to go to New York? If you are scamming somebody like Jeff who lives in Tennessee, baby, he ain't got no New York coin. New York is very expensive, but everybody just wants to go. Like New York is so over glamorized. I get it. I love it. I want to move back. But when I got a coin, there is no middle class in New York City. The middle class in your town is middle class. Middle class in New York City is poor and below the poverty line. Tennessee will do you right, Varia, especially with Jeffrey's budget. That felon budget ain't a lot. So this is where we see the felon side of Jeffrey pop out, because this whole episode, he is wary about Varia's intentions and he doesn't trust her and he thinks that, you know, she's scamming him to get to the United States. Probably, you know what I mean? Like, hello, have you seen this show? However, I think it's quite interesting that he is bothered by Varia and think that she has, like, you know, these ill intentions because she's not telling him about her past. And I'm looking at him like, are you kidding me? You are the felon / crime TV reenactment actor, and she doesn't know any of this. She just thinks that you're some dad from Tennessee who lives in the boondocks and loves on his son. You haven't told her anything about your past, the vital information about your past, and you're judging her. Like, the nerve of the men on this show. I can't believe it. I'm like, are you really mad at Varia for not telling you about her past when you haven't told her the most important thing about the fact that you probably almost killed your last wife? Like, that is very important information, Jeff. And he goes on with, oh, I'm just trying to make sure that she doesn't hurt me. Jeff, I think at this point, she's just trying to make sure you don't kill her. Like, we're not concerned about Varia's intentions with you. We're concerned about her safety at this point, okay? Everything about your past has come out, and we're all afraid for Varia and the crew. Let's talk about this dinner, right? So Varia and Jeff go to a dinner with her friends so they can meet him or whatever. And the friends, I was just like, what? Are y'all trying to get everybody at this table killed? Like, they were interrogating him, and I'm like, guys, you can see his eyes. He's not for this. So why are you guys, like, going on? And just, I don't know. I feel like if I introduce my friends to somebody, they would be very kind to the person, right? Even if the person was trash, they would be very kind to them. When that person leaves, drag them for filth. Because that's what friends do, right? Not to their face. You know what I mean? Even if the person is not a good person. I don't know. Maybe it's my friends group, but I felt like her friends were just being rude for no reason. Now, this is a TV show, so the producers probably were feeding them questions. That could have probably happened as well, but it just seemed very odd that they were just being very rough with their line of questions, especially, what is it, Czechoslovakian? Where are we at? Czechoslovakian Ariana Grande, the girl with the ponytail. Why? I didn't get her. I did not get. Now, Varia, is this your messy friend? Like, is that the friend that you got to keep an eye on because you think that she will sleep with your man? Is she that friend? Or is the producers doing this? I don't really know, but I just was watching this girl the whole time like, what are you doing? Why would you tell your friend's American boyfriend that he's not the first American that she's dated and that she was just dating an American not too long? What was that? That did not make any sense to me. So maybe it was a producer thing, but oh, you know what? It probably was a producer thing, because as soon as that was said to Jeff, he lost it. Like, he just started going off at the table. Then he jumped up, and I love Varia's friend, because Varia's friend jumped up to the dude at the table. He was like, oh no, you're not gonna jump up on me. So I'm guessing that when you stand up, wherever it is, I feel like no matter what culture you're in or wherever you're at in the world, if you stand up, I think universally that is telling someone, I'm ready to scrap. Because as soon as Jeffrey stood up, Varia's friend was like, let's go. Then all of a sudden, when he realizes that the dude is taller and bigger than him, he turns his anger to Varia. He's just like, you lied to me. You lied to me. How dare you? And then he runs out of the restaurant. I'm like, what in the American entitlement? I would never pop off like that in another country. Are you kidding me? Like, he just went off in that restaurant. Then he ran out and he's just like, I can't believe it. I can't believe she lied to me. I don't know. Like, okay, Varia scamming. We get it, right? But if she's dated or talked to an American before you, it did not warrant that reaction. Jeff, maybe you don't need to be in relationships with women. I don't think you know how. I don't know who hurt you before or what your relationship was like with your mother, but you have a really weird relationship with women. It damn near deadly, okay? I just think that maybe you should try something new, okay? And it ain't women. Just go somewhere else, because let's be real, you got it in you. We all see it. And maybe you need to try something different, or just be by yourself, because I don't see any woman, even a woman desperate and who needs to get to the United States, dealing with this or surviving a relationship with you, because the way he popped off was so scary. Because none of it warranted that kind of reaction. He scared everybody, the cast, the crew, everybody in the restaurant, the extras in the back. They were just like, what is going on? Like, it was so unnecessary. And then we cut to Varia's friends who are like comforting her. Even Ariana Grande, she was just like, did I go too far? Like, it wasn't a great first impression. I don't know how he's going to bounce back from that. Oh, Varia, I hope you're still in, where you at? Russia, Czechoslovakia? One of them places, one of them white cold countries. I hope you're still there. I really don't want you to be in Kentucky with Jeff. Girl, no. Especially not now. You don't need to be in America, girl. Stay where you're at. Lisa and Usman. So my little sister said that Lisa looks like a tow truck company receptionist. Baby. If that wasn't the most accurate description ever, because I can't unsee it. I can't unsee it. I feel like the last time I got my car towed, Miss Lisa was the woman that helped me out. I feel like she just has that universal tow truck company receptionist look, like she does. Not in this week's episode, but last week's episode, Miss Lisa said that, you know what? These foreign men keep on lying to these American women that they are scamming and that they don't want to have sex with, because we've seen it on every season. We've seen it with Danielle. We've seen it with Angela. Now we're seeing it with Miss Lisa. Who else? What was the lady that was talking about the jiggy jiggy? Remember how she had the sex toys and all of that stuff? All of these women are constantly fooled by these foreign men who are saying that they don't like participate in oral sex, right? And I'm just like, it's not that. They just don't participate in it with you. They don't want Miss Lisa. I don't blame him, okay? Usman was just like, oh, I don't do that. Men in Nigeria don't do that. She's just like, yeah, so I had to teach him. Ma'am, he didn't want to do that to you. He barely wanted to put his penis in your vagina, but that right there, he was just like, I'm just going to put this on my country and say this is not something that we do. Who was the jiggy jiggy dude? Remember that? I forget the name. But the dude who didn't want to do the jiggy jiggy, he put that on Allah. He was like, nah, we don't do that. Not in my culture. My culture, my religion, my neighborhood, we don't do that. Oh, when are you old women going to realize these young boys is lying? Listen, Usman is a millennial. He does it. He just don't want to get up under that fupa. Usman takes Miss Lisa to the studio where he recorded the Lisa song. And Miss Lisa, in your 50s, at your big age, she's in the studio like, wow, this is where it happened. Oh my goodness. Wow. Ma'am. Ma'am. You know what? I hope that Lisa is scamming, because she gives me, I want to be the next Angela, right? And girl, you can't compete with that kind of crazy. But she gives me that that's what she's trying to do. And I really hope that her and Usman are in on this together. I just don't want to think that you are this dense. Like, ma'am, no. I just don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe that. So I hope, for the sake of your image, that you're just scamming to be on this show. And another reason why I think she's just scamming to be on this show, her outrage doesn't make sense to me. So Lisa is apparently really, really jealous, and she's mad at Usman's video director because he put a model in the video. Everybody knows, if you've seen the video, that there's always some girl that the director is singing to, or that the talent is singing to, or whatever. Like, that's just normal. Like, you have it in Nigeria, you have it in America. Miss Lisa is trying to act like this is not something that happens in America. Are you kidding me? This ain't the 80s when rock bands was putting in their groupie girlfriends that they were dating in the videos. This is what we do now. This is how the videos are. Like, ma'am, just stop acting like this is foreign to you. Like, oh, we don't do that in America. Yes, we do. So it's just not making sense that she's so jealous and so mad at this director because he put a model in the video. She's so upset with him that she would disrespect the man to his face and start cussing out Usman and the director because she feels like she's not being heard. It wasn't a good enough reason for me, considering Miss Lisa. Now, if it was Jeff, it would be reasonable because he's unhinged. But Miss Lisa, you just don't give me that. Like, from what we have seen, I'm like, you haven't overreacted once. So now on what, like episode 5 or whatever, now you're going to give us this overreaction when this has never been your MO? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Everybody has been saying that she's like this. The show has had ample time to give us one of her overreactions, and we just haven't seen it until we get here. And it does not make sense. Like, the director is visibly upset, right? It makes sense to me. Like, you see all of my hard work, and then you're telling me that you want me to shoot another video after I've already done it. I shot it, edited it, color corrected it, added graphics to it, the whole 9. And you want me to do it again? As somebody who does that, I would be pissed. I get that. He made sense to me. Lisa didn't. Miss Yolanda, right? Just like with Dave, who we'll get into later, I'm not buying it. I think this is fake too. I think that this is fake. It's not making sense to me, guys. And I told you, when it doesn't make sense, it's normally a what? A scam. This is a storyline scam. I just don't feel compelled to talk about it. I don't feel compelled to watch her because I don't believe it. And so it's just not interesting to me. So until Miss Yolanda gives me something that I can believe, I'm just not going to cover her. Speaking of scams, Stephanie and Erica. I don't believe this, right? Hold on. I want to, because I think it's a great storyline. We have 2 young women who are bisexual, who are about to come out to both of their parents on this show. Sounds like great TV to me, right? I think going to both of their like social media and YouTube pages just made me feel like I can't trust this relationship. You know what I mean? Because they give me like, we want to be on TV. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I want to be on TV too, as an actress. You know what I mean? I want to scam people into thinking I'm some kind of personality that I'm not. So I don't know. I don't know how I yet feel about them, because I'm getting scammed. But I want to believe this storyline because I think it's great that we have, the B and LGBT representation on the show, because we never had that before, right? I still think with, Stephanie? With Stephanie's, what she's dealing with concerning her health or whatever. That's something interesting, you know what I mean? Just to see how this young bisexual relationship plays out, dealing with her illness and dealing with, culture, things like, they just have a lot going on that is great for storyline. The thing that's giving me pause is their social media personas. Like, I've seen both of their stuff and I'm like, you giving me Darcy. You know what I mean? But Darcy is just, nuts. So that's good TV. But these two, y'all don't have the crazy factor that I want to keep on watching. I'll keep on watching though, and I'll keep on covering, because I think if they're in on it, I don't think their families are. So I think that would be probably more interesting to see how the family dynamic changes or enhances when these girls finally come out. And that's another thing that I'm going to be looking for, because if the parents, if they give a reaction where it's just like, we already knew, and not like, oh, you're my kid, I had you, I knew you were bisexual, you know what I mean? If it's, oh, really? Wow, I'm not okay with this. Give me a second. I love you. It's fine. If it's that, scam. The family already knew. They just did this to get on TV. That will be the deciding factor for me. So I'm just waiting to see how the parents take this on camera. That aside, I like them, especially Stephanie, because she has great taste. Did you see this purse? She packed this purse to give to Erica in Australia. I was just like, you got good taste. Oh, your girl got good taste. Yeah. Kurt Geiger. Mm-hmm. So we finally get to see Erica. Erica gives me 2005. I just feel like a lot of like where she's at is like when stuff was booming. Like I just feel like specifically her fashions. I'm like, this heart print, you know what? Maybe that is Australia, because I remember I used to get my tights from this place called Black Milk, and they used to have all kinds of print clothing. Is that an Australian thing? You know what? If that is, forgive me. If that's y'all style, no shade. But I follow a lot of other Australian clothing companies, and they don't be doing that print stuff. I just remember there was like this huge trend of everybody doing like these, is it screen printed? Whatever, you know, those prints of like diamonds and, you know, those hearts and pills and jelly beans, and turning them into tights or dresses, just like the skater dress that Erica had on. I was just like, oh, all right, 2005 in a nutshell. Let us know. But she seems like she is fun. She has a great personality. And I got that when I went to her social media stuff. I just felt like her and, you know, Stephanie really want to be on TV by any means necessary. That aside, she's fun. She's fun to watch. She's very interesting. Her friends are very interesting. First of all, the friends. How do they all meet? This had to be some kind of, these are my childhood friends, and we just grew into very different people, but we still kept our relationships, because one friend is a PTA mom and the other friend is Avril Lavigne. And I'm like, y'all all hang out? And then we have Erica and this. And I'm like, you guys all hang out? Wow. I want to see it. Like, I want to see the hangouts. What do y'all talk about? So Erica and Stephanie finally meet. And guys, I hope it's the nerves. I hope it's just, you know, this is us seeing each other for the first time. So there's just this weirdness, because they have the chemistry of roommates on Craigslist. Like, this is like, hey, roommate that I met on Craigslist, I approved your application. You can move on in. This is your room. Like, that's what it gave me. There wasn't like much there, and I'm just hoping it's nerves on both of their parts, and that we can really see this relationship blossom, because it seemed like this relationship is a real thing, right? I just feel like this relationship has been a real thing before this show. You know what I mean? I feel like they met before. I feel like they've probably been dating for a while, and maybe it's this. Maybe they have met already. Maybe they have been dating for a while. Maybe their families already know. But Stephanie applied for the show. TLC said yes. And TLC and 90 Day Fiancé is just like, okay, well, we've heard about your story. We heard your relationship. We want to go back to those parts. That happens a lot in reality TV shows. A lot of times what we see on these shows is reenactments. It actually happened. That's why they can call it reality TV, but it's normally a reenactment. So I'm thinking maybe that's what it is, and maybe that's what I'm getting. What do you guys think? Let's talk about it in the comment section below. Dave and Lana, just like Miss Yolanda, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Especially with Dave, he's giving me Caucasian Caesar. Like, that's what I'm getting from him. I feel like we're going to have this storyline with him where we never meet Lana, and his Russian friend, what's his friend's name? Anya is going to be in the scenes with him, telling him that Lana is scamming him or whatever, and that he shouldn't really believe this woman. I think that's what we're going to get. And I'm not here for it. That's not interesting at all. I don't know why the show is doing this again when Caesar's storyline wasn't successful. Like, none of us liked it. We never liked the fact that we couldn't meet the girl until the end. We never saw them interact. That's what this show is about. We want to see the couples interact. This is not Catfish. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what Miss Yolanda and Dave are going to give me. I think we're never going to see Lana. We're only going to see Anya. And then, wait, this might be the Catfish twist. The Catfish twist might be that Anya is Lana. But again, that's Catfish. Like, this is 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days. We want to see these couples interact. And if Lana just doesn't show up, then what is the point? I don't know. What y'all think about Dave and Lana? Do you think it's a Catfish thing? Do you think Lana will ever show up? Or do you think Anya is Lana? Let's talk about it in the comment section below. And if you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe, share, and wash your hands. And I will see you for another video. Hopefully it's funny. Hopefully you have a good time. We're going to get through this. Promise you. Love you guys. Bye.